Welcome, episode 24. We're going to check these FloTek heads right out of the box. No, the rockers don't come with them. Okay, it'll get you on. But anyway, we're going to check them out, see how much cutting and digging, modifying, what we got to do to them. All we're doing is a visual inspection of how they arrived. Make sure we got what we ordered. That's all you want to do. Here we are with the heads. It's going on the C10. These are the FloTek 102 505s. You can do a lot with them. We're going to check them right out of the box. I just took this head out of the box a while ago. I had them in the box. I just picked them up, looked at them, put them back in the box, took them out of the box, set them up. And we're going to check and see if what they say is what you're getting. See how close they are, okay? I got to get this thing done. Probably the engine block should be about done. I need to call over and check on it again because I've got to set them on the block. I don't have a dummy block here. Set them on the block and check the angle per intake to the heads. Make sure everything is set up right. If it ain't, I'll probably have to take the block, take the heads and the intake over there to him, my porter, and have him do the adjustment to it. But anyway, let's check the flatness of this thing. The way it looks, I'm gonna tell you now, just from looking at it, it's not too bad. I mean, you always have to ask yourself, are you wasting your time checking things? You know, because after the reviews and what all on them, you always check. I don't care what you do. You check your stuff, all right? So you send a head out to the shop, you bring it back, you just bolt that thing on. You're taking a chance. I don't care if it's I can't call no names out, but heavy equipment. Let's do that. We send a head out, have it checked, clean, done, bring it back, and see how bad off it is, or do we just bolt it on? Do we have time to check it? Just bolt it on. You know, it depends on what your manager or your boss tells you to do. You know, if he don't let you take time to check it, and something goes wrong, who's to blame? You're a mechanic. You're a tech. You know what you're doing? That head might be warped. Who knows? You never know what happened. So if you are a manager or a boss, whatever out there, have your guys check the heads before you put them back on. Okay, just check them out. Find the specs, check them out. See if you're getting back what you're getting. So first thing I want to do, let me grab my straight edge over here. I got a long straight edge. It's straight. I can promise you that. It's gonna be straight. It ain't bent or anything. I tell you, I've been digging out my engine tools. Oh man, I got every measuring tool you can think of. Tons in there, and I'm glad to be able to bring them back out and use them. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go as small as we're gonna go to 0.0015. I need to look up. I had been so long the exact spec allowed for warpage or whatever, and I can see already there's a tool out there that checks the roughness of the machine work, and I guarantee you, with what I see on the head, and it's flat, it's nice, don't get me wrong, you can see that you can see the machine marks. Okay, back away from it, you really can't see them. Of course, I got some magnifiers on too. You know what I mean? So let's check this with this 0.0015. If it don't go in anywhere, I'm gonna call it good. which like I say, I didn't hear anything bad on them. Okay. Everybody that's checked them out, done everything, really liked them. So far, we're good there. We're going to also do the head face here in a minute too. And then we'll do this. Now, these are supposed to be 180 cc's. Let's see how close they are according to my stuff I got. Now, I did have the beacon. It fell over and broke the tower. Gosh, that'd been probably 5 or 6 years ago, I guess. I was messing around with one. About 6 years ago. It fell over and broke. But what I got here, I dug this out in there. Here's a milliliter. I guess you can convert it if you want. It's a milliliter one. And then I got my plexiglass cut where I can check them. We'll clean that off real good. So this is right out of the box, you know. I'm going to have them sent out. We're going to look at the gaskets in a minute and show you why, probably. I bet they don't match up. I threw one on the other day just to kind of look at it. And it's going to need a little bit of work. Not much. Then I got a, of course, this is a 200 cc. Let's get a tube and go down in here. I think that'll work. Now, what I use is alcohol. Alcohol will go where water won't go. And of course, you can go ahead and fill all your cylinders up. I'm going to do that. I'm going to leak check them. And if something is leaking, I'm going to let you know. If something leaking or whatever. Put that right there. Hold on, Mike. Also, we're going to use this $1 grease that goes on the Supercharger bearings. This stuff right here runs about $35–40 a tube. I'll never use it all. It would take, shoot, years to probably use all that for a Supercharger. What I want to do though is put just a small film around the port. And I'm fixing to check. And I'll check them all. Now you can check just one or two. You know, it's up to you. But we're almost there. Let's go in like that with it, Bubba. That'll work right there, but I'm not quite touching my grease all the way around. This plate right here probably ain't straight. We know that it's straight. We just checked it. That goes to show you right there. You know, with your this, I put my straight edge on that, and I bet it's bent. So we're going to get close. Let's see how close we are now with it. So a lot of people won't do this. They'll just buy them, slap them on, and that's what a lot of the reviews that I've seen, a lot of them was like that. They right out of the box, both them on, did good, got more horsepower. Well, if they would have checked everything, got everything right, without spending thousands of dollars, they could have got a little bit more and probably better fuel mileage. Alright, so we got good grease around it now. Let me recheck my level. Being a mashing on it. Good there. Perfect. just want to, yeah, I think rocked a little bit on it, looks like. It's going to have a little bit of bend to it. So that's okay. We're still going to get a good check on it. We're good. Let's draw 180, and this is marked by 10s. So 180, we got 150, 60, 70, 80 on that line. We should be pretty close to what we need. Now you ought to see the flow charts on these. Man, I really couldn't believe the flow that they have as is. And when you get these heads, they're not going to have valve stem guides sticking out of the towers and, you know, all that mess. They're really a clean head, clean runners. Get on up here so we can get to our 180 here, and just see how close we are. Like I said, we could be off a little bit. They're gonna let me know when they go over there. He'll recheck them. Okay, we're right. We're dead on. Our 180. That's perfect. Let's see how close they are. Don't put the needle all the way down in there because you're going to have some kind of air coming out. So don't put it all in there. As I'm doing this, I'm looking to see if I see any run out. So far we're good. It should take all this. There is a big syringe. I mean, 180 is pretty good, I guess. A lot of people run 190s, 200s. Let's let air out. Now I'm level, but according to this, I could be, man, that thing is dead center. But according to this right here, I got a small air bubble that went this way. So really, the runner's full. So I may be 1 or half a cc off using this, but you can get the idea. If it filled up and we was down, you know, a little bit, that'd be, hey, we got a problem. You know what I mean? So, or if we went all the way out and we hadn't touched the glass yet, we're in the glass right there. We're touching the glass. I can't get this in there. We're touching the glass, but I got a probably an air pocket here the size of a dime, where must not be exactly to the thousandths on level, but pretty close. So like I said, I'm gonna do the rest of these, leak check them, and I'll come back and we'll do something else to them, check them out. We'll go do the gaskets on top and see where he's gonna have to cut or whatever on them. Okay, so I'll be right back after this. Checking these out, you know, they're all full, and all of them had the I spilled some there, but they all had the same little air bubble in there. But we're all right. As far as they've been here for a little while, those spots there, when they go over to the find where I'm at here, when they go over there, they're going to polish all this up some. There's one over here on this one. You got one right there on that one. But they'll clean all that up, make it right. Do what they got to do to it, you know what I mean? But it's been sitting here probably 15-20 minutes. I didn't tap on the valves or anything like that. Just out of the box. I mean, I hadn't done nothing to it. It's just straight out of the box, not touching nothing. Alright, so let's move on to our next deal. What's this set? Be 30 minutes total, and there's no leaks after that. I think we're going to be alright. That's done. The way I did it, it looks like I was probably a CC maybe on the little air bubble, but I stood it up and I went to that little one and it just barely moved it at all, you know what I mean? So they're close. I'm happy with, I got what I ordered as far as the intake runner CC. At least they didn't show up, and we got 160s or 170s, and by the way, I think 170, if I ain't wrong, a lot of that was you guys that do heads, y'all know, I'm thinking they were like 170s or something back in the day. It's been a while since I've seen one of the old cast heads, but I'm thinking they were like 170s. Don't correct me if I'm wrong if you want to. We're just checking this out of the box. Now let's see about our gaskets. So I'm going to start with that 1206 we talked about on the intake. Let me find that. Now also, FloTek, on their specs, when you buy the head, and I might throw a picture of that up there, and according to their specs, the 1205 is the gasket that they like they want to run on it. Now, looking at our intake now, if you remember, looking at our intake, that steel gasket, the 1204 for the Supercharger, perfect. So let's go in here. Here's the 1206. I get my specs back on so we have everything right, and I'll get us a picture of it. So let's say we're going to bolt that gasket up. Let me find something here to straighten it out. I had it sitting right there, but I may have put it in a different location. These two here will do it. You don't want to damage your thread, so be careful. So we're not going to protect them or anything. We're going to go with it. All right, we're going to go with it. If that bolt went in there pretty centered, this here will center it up. It got some pretty good holes on these. Maybe running some 7/16 bolts or something for them. But anyway, pretty straight there. We're needing that. Now on this one. So if you was to run the 1206 S3, I'm going to grab the other one, because just checking it out of the box, you know what I mean? It ain't been cut on or nothing. We're just trying to see what gasket should, if you're going to run it out of the box, you'll know what to buy if you don't want to do nothing to them. I'm going to take, because this gasket centered. This is center. But then I'm off a little bit on my bolt holes, but would work, because if you use that size bolt, you can move the gasket where you need it. I guess it'll probably work, but it's awful close. I'm gonna check this other one. See if I got two gaskets the same package. Yeah, so when you bolt it up, if these will line up with your intake rail, you should be all right. Problem is, there isn't enough meat on this head to gasket match it. But you're going to go in deep, you know, you can forget about the supercharged intake. It's not going to work on it. It will, but you're going to have, it's going to be sitting over top of a hole. You know, you're going to put a 55-gallon barrel over a 5-gallon bucket, or your 5-gallon bucket. So your air come in, you're going to have a gap underneath it, which it's up to you what you want. But here, you're going to do a little bit of cutting with the 1206, but 1206, you can make it work on these heads. Okay? That's not what we're going to run. And I'll throw a picture up there of this so y'all see what I'm talking about with it centered up. How the gasket's off just a little bit. But when you straighten it up here, that brings the corner alive here, which you don't do much on the floors anyway. Most of your stuff's on the roof. The roof matching is almost right. So I'll throw a picture on there so y'all can look at it, so you can decide if you want to do that much work to these, or order some that's a higher CC to go to your 1206. So let's they said 1205s according to their specs. Let's look at the 1205s. See what they got going on here. It's a 1205. There's no letters or anything after it. Straight 1205. See how close we are. And I'll throw the pickup when we get to the other gasket now, so you'll see where we're at with the 1205s. Compared to the 4s. So 1205, you're going to run 1205s. Of course you can. But you're going to be doing some cutting if you want to match it up. But forget, you got to go in. Your porters know that. The roof is almost a perfect match. Your roof and floor is great on them. You just have to do some whittling around your ports. But you're going to do it at home. Watch your push rod pinch. Clean that up and bring that in. What's going to happen? You're going to end up with a funnel and a curve. I would take it to a professional porter to port that. You know what I mean? Don't try to attempt this at home unless you're doing it at home already. Whittle at it. Take your grinder, get a hold of it. It's yours. You do what you want. I'm not a head porter. Tell you right now. Leave some of that work to the people who do it for a living. All right, here's the gasket we're going to run right here, or this size. This one's got the steel plate down in it, and if you need to pop off that piece there, you can. You don't have to be in there because these heads do not have it. This one, your roof and your floor is off just, I mean, a hair. Which that's okay. There, I mean, we're talking about a ballpoint pen thickness maybe. The ball on it. I mean, you can really feel it. It's almost flush. But when I take it to him, he's got to cut. I'll show you a picture. He won't do that much cutting, but there's a little bit of cutting he's going to do. Of course, he'll go down in it deeper, make everything right to match the intake. The intake's already wide open. We've seen that. So I'll do a picture of this here, and so you can see how the old 4 matches, and I think both of them are the same. I don't think there's any difference in these two. Now there's other gasket makers out there that you could probably get closer to what you want, but this size fits the Supercharger, and there's no meat on the Supercharger to be chopping on it. It was designed, actually, that 144 came off a boat that had twins in it. Same gasket. I'm thinking it was 305s that was in it. Had to be 350s. I wouldn't think they had a 305 in them, but who knows? Mercruiser put anything in them, or the owner, not Mercruiser, the maker, put what they want to in them. So there's a little bit to do for the intake. Now, if you don't cut that, and look at the picture of the intake, okay, look at it. All right, so if we don't cut that, if you put that intake on there, and I do have a camera that'll go in there and do a smoke test on it, so with the valve out, run some smoke through it, and you're going to have a little bit of turbulence there. It's going to cause a little bit, but with that out, you'll be happier. You're going to drop your fuel mileage. What happens when you any turns really, that's any stops, in other words, any wall, anything that the fuel hits, it can turn back to a liquid. It then went through a meat grinder. It done did what it was supposed to do. Why would you want a wall for your fuel to hit? You know. So let's move on. We know we're at there. This is out of the box. 1204, 5 and 6s. If you want to know with Felpro how they fit. So let's go to the chambers now. See what how close they are. We're back. I didn't want y'all to watch the whole video setting the head up. I'll level it the best I can here. So we'll double check it. I got thinking a while ago, I don't know why. I guess, you know, when you got a lot going on, you don't think about some things, but I checked this and it's not flat. The air bubble a while ago is probably make up the difference of how bad that's out. So go with it. I mean, I've had a little time, but it's close enough to where if I'd have mashed down on it too flat, you would have probably pushed the air out. So anyway, that's that. So let's go. These are 64s, and let's check them. Let's see how close to 64 they are. What I've done here, I don't have the spark plug that fits. Okay. And I shoved the earplug in it. But I gave it what usually pretty close. I mean, we might be a CC out or something again, you know what I'm saying? But as long as we're not 10 off, 15 off, I think they did a pretty good job. Because they're going to redo all this when they get over there. Clean them up some. I'll recheck it. Yeah, I might have to cut me another piece, I think. Or give me another plate. Let's recheck our level. See how close we are. We're going to be pretty close right there. I really don't like it. I'm going to put a little piece in the corner here. I want the levels I can get it. I played with it while ago for a while. Pretty close there. You'll be okay there. This will give us an idea. This ain't a head shop, you know what I mean? I don't do this for a living. Good thing, huh? Your engine be running all out wacky, huh? You won't know what you be getting. That's why I trust my old boyfriend across town. Everybody likes his work. He is highly reputable. Let's see. So I'm gonna draw this in some. And we'll take her air back out. I use alcohol. It goes places where water won't. Use oil. Use what you want. Use water or soap. The soap will knock the water edge down. If you see a spider going across water, put some soap in front of him. He'll fall in the water. You can't walk across it. Try it. Let me know how you can't come out. So I'm going to see how close I can get to 64. We're going to be right. Right there. So I'm really about 63 there. We're going, hold on a minute. We're going to get in there. Okay. Get that air there out. We're right between the 60 and 70, so let's see how close they are. Like I said, they ain't got to be dead on perfect, but I don't want to be 10 off or 10 up or down, you know what I mean? So let's see what we got. So much air is in it. Let me wipe that off because I see a lot of air over there for some reason. I think we're going to be close though. So I need, watch there, I got a little bit left. I bet it's going to fill that in. I guess we're off some. My little leveler there ain't no good. Do some checking on him. A little bit more. I want all that air right there. Should be tilted anyway a little bit so the air will go to the hole. Okay, all the air should come out of that hole there. What we got left. Minus the bowl and our plastic. And I'm at the bottom. So I go out, if we mash down on that, it does go. So I think I'm at the bottom. That's all of it. So it's probably a 64cc head. I'm gonna call it that. They're gonna check it when it gets over there, so they'll let me know then. But this is straight out of the box. I just don't want to get the wrong head. I don't want to order one that's supposed to be, say, 76 cc's or 54 cc's or 64 cc's, either way, and then you end up with something way off. So I would, if I was you, I would trust their measurements if you wanted to buy one. It ain't bad. You can buy the bare head from them. Got this off, and we're going to check the 0.0015 on the straightness. Now, I wish I had one of those tools that would tell me how rough it is. I'm going to put my binoculars on here and see if I can see the machine work here like you can on the intake. Let's see what we got. If it is, it's real fine. They may cut this in a little bit slower. The face here, because either that or I got lucky and got a good one. So you really can't. You gotta look close. But I still would like to have that too. I'm gonna give me one day. So I check the thicknesses of metal or the roughness. I may have a thickness checker. I have to look and see. Alright, so let's check let's get our 015 back out. 0015, I'm sorry. 015. He's not supposed to do anything to the face when we go over there. I got another one. That's pretty short. If it does go under it, we'll check it with this long one. But check them in several places. So if it won't go under this, you're gonna be okay. Because I think our gaskets 30s. I think I can look and see. I'm gonna run what he tells me I need to run. But those aluminum heads, they're very new to me. Old cast guy, you know what I mean. So really, if you wanted to buy this head and build it, well, you do not like alcohol, do they? I use it sometimes when I'm painting. I wipe down the alcohol, the earplug gets real soft. So where we're at now is, if you want to buy that head, it's a buildable head. According to the, and I went everywhere. All the forums, I went to a lot of places before I purchased a head. And I didn't find anybody where they really called them junk because they're buildable. I don't think I found any negativity on them, really. And that was really what turned me on. I was trying to find something. There's some old videos even on YouTube on them, some old ones. And I think as time went by, they improved them as a feedback that people has gave them to make them better. Because there's one video where the valves are not shrouded. These are shrouded. They're cut some. They ain't cut real deep, but they have been cut around. They do have the shroud around the valve. I don't have a ball. There's a ball and a stick. You have to be able to open that valve with certain, whatever your lift is, and see if that ball will come out of there or not. You can find one and get them. So let me set this down. We'll come back and we'll talk about the we'll touch on it some, the camshaft. So be right back. If somebody did watch it all the way, whatever, they'll see what we're up to. Okay, so last couple of days, really, I've been emailing back and forth. There's got to be somebody on the other side of the emails that who want to argue with you and don't want to build what you need. Finally, I convinced a company to do it. We'll talk about them later on as we build the engine, assemble it. But I got to take these here down. I had these bought for another engine, and these do have the holes if you want to buy them for the FloTek valve covers, or you put the old style valve covers on it. The holes are in it where you get your 4 holes bolted down. But anyway, so they claim, which I hadn't taken it apart and checked it. I can, but I may let him do it, or we may do it. I may do some pictures on it. We're allowed a 550 lift for these springs. Okay. But what I'm afraid of, there is 2 other rockers that's recommended for this head. Here they are right here. Okay, so them are recommended for the head. I'm not sure about that blue one. how far off it is to these. I think it is a little shorter rocker. These do have the extended lips on them, so you can run a, if you got your factory valve cover, it'd probably work. I'm not going to say it will, but some of the farms said they would. I don't know, I haven't done it yet. But I'm looking at, when I'm up here, the old style valve cover is probably going to clear it. I think they will. But we ain't worried about it up here. We're going to be pretty close. But the old valve cover, the old style valve cover, I'm going to run talls. I got a couple of them picked out, and I think they'll clear it. I'm not sure about the FloTek will clear it with the Scorpions, because the FloTek valve cover actually comes in too far. I think it would be up to you what rockers you want to get for it. But anyway, we're allowed the 550 on our cam. I'm not going there because this is not a race truck. I'm not racing it. What I'm looking for is, back in 90, I built the first one. Even the second one was like, I think it's 95, 96, somewhere in there. I think it was when I moved to the house. And there's a company, 𝐩𝐚𝐢𝐝 cams back then. I know in the 90s. They had the grind cam and fixed it pretty much what we wanted. And I wanted to stay below 500. So I think it was like a 505, something like that, 5.6, close to it. But it was close to, right there at the 500 mark. And the duration was a little high, because back then, I was younger. We was hot rodders, so the duration was high on it. I think it was like a, I think it's 270s. And the lobe separation, which we didn't know too much about them back then. I think it was a 110. And when we fired the thing up, it loped a little bit. It had a little racket to it. And not as much being the Supercharger was there, but it did have a little racket to it. The problem with the 110, we was losing our air. Okay? So I think the one we built in 95, we ended up going to 114. 113 or 114 separation, I think. The one that I'm having done now, it is 1 degree off. It's going to be a 113. And 1 degree ain't really a whole lot. I can actually go down to 112. But 114, both valves stay closed. They'll stay closed. You'll have a smooth idle. That's around, your duration's in the 260s, and your lift is right at 500. If you do that, you'll be surprised what you get out of that head on that cam. Depends on how your heads are built. It's been ran before. We've done it. It worked great. I wish I would have videoed the one back in 95. I didn't. But it ran a whole lot smoother because the cam that we went with. Finding that cam, the specs that we had been in, finding that cam now, it's hard to find it. Most of them are way up there, from 525 to 580s to 600s. We can't run that in this truck. It's not going to be built for it. It's going to be a smooth driving, running truck. And your mileage, you want to try to get your mileage up as high as you can get it. So I finally convinced them into building me, I think, I have to look again on my specs. It was a 505, 508, somewhere in there on the lift. Alright. And I told them a low 270 duration. But I'm going to email them tomorrow. We're supposed to cut the cam, start on it tomorrow, next day, whatever. Or email them tonight. I think 268, 267-ish will be better. I really do. I think it'll be quieter. It'll still have the response I want. And the lobe separation 113 or 114, either one will work fine. 114, of course, both valves will be closed. 113, there you're gonna have a look, just a fraction. Now, why do you have to run a supercharged cam? You don't have to, and it's been proven. There are some videos out there. I forgot the guy's name. He does some dynoing, and they ran like a factory cam. Then they went up, like a 280, 290s with 500 lifts, and then they put the supercharger cam in there with the 114 and all. As far as horsepower, there wasn't that big of a gain. What they gained was when you went with supercharged cam, it was smoother. But as far as horsepower, it was pretty much the same, because you go with the 107 to 110 lobe separation, a lot of your compressed air is going to go on out. You're going to blow all your air out the exhaust. You won't really get the combustion you want. So I know there's a couple of them that's building this at the same time I'm building mine, and I wish I could get the cam and get the block and all here, because I want to fire the thing up before I put it in the truck and show you what that cam does before you went too far into yours. But I guess you can take it all down, swap the cams out if you want to. But the higher the lobe separation is, the 114, 13s, you'll get a good idle with a lower duration, and you can still stick with the 500 or 490 lift. It's going to be smooth, especially with the 144 on it. It'll be smooth. It's done been proven. It's done been ran. We ran it. It was nice. And so that's pretty much all I can really speak about the cam until it arrives, and then we'll check the cam for the lift, the duration. We'll check it all over, make sure it is right. But I just wanted to talk about it in case you guys want to move on forward on yours and get it built. Is stick with that cam. Now, you can put what cam you want to in it. You can do whatever you want to do. That's the reason they say you can take the 144, or say 142s, not the 144s. The 142s, the little 6 or 7 groove, little small pulleys on them, you can bolt them straight on a stock 350 or 305. And they perform good, because you're losing a lot of your air out the exhaust. So whatever cam you use, when you force air into it, it's going to work either way. You're going to gain power. Okay, you'll gain more power if you just get that lobe separation right. All right. So, like I said, I need to find that guy's video. I watched it way back that he was talking about the difference between the supercharged cam versus just your NA cams. So you just lose air is all you lose, but your performance is going to come up. You're still going to feel the power. It'll be there. You just feel more power. Get the 114s, 113. Okay, stay around 500 lift, and if you stay below 270 on duration, you don't have to do a whole lot to your springs. You need to go with the cam springs that recommend for it, rockers and all that. You don't have to build up as high as you think you have to. All right. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and we're going to get some more parts in, talk about some more as this thing goes on. The weather should warm up. They called me back in, and I'm probably going to go. I was supposed to start back till 5 months. I was planning on getting this truck done as quick as I can. Get ready for the C10 Nationals here at Fort Worth, Texas Motor Speedway, and then this truck I know I'll be done by then. But September, end of September, I think, we're going to be going to Missouri with the truck at the No Name Nationals. We're going to go up there. No Name Nationals is for YouTubers that have 500 more subs or better. If I got them, I got them. If I don't, no big deal. Save me a trip. But anyway, I'd like to have over the 500. I didn't start working on the truck. Actually, mine didn't start moving till about 6 months ago. When I started on the truck, that's when I started seeing the increase on my followers. So I hope I get a few. You know, I'd like to take it up there. I'm not taking up there to race. We're gonna go up there just to show it off. I know there's a lot of people that send me messages about, hey, get that truck, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. And stuff with Cleatus is one of them that's kind of guilty about. I'm gonna call him guilty. We're holding him responsible. He's the one that invited me. I'm one of those type, hey man, it's a show, YouTuber show. Let's go. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all next Sunday. Welcome, episode 24.